Welcome back to Talking Ball. We've got some breaking news here. Duke has landed in the transfer portal Ifeanyi Ufochukwu, the center from Rice. He will be a redshirt junior, so he'll have 2 years of eligibility remaining for the Blue Devils. He's 6'11", 240 pounds. He's from Nigeria. He moved over to the United States, played high school ball in North Carolina, and then spent the last 3 years with Rice. The first 2 he played sparingly, and then he redshirted this past season before now entering the transfer portal and coming to join the Duke Blue Devils. He's a guy who in 24 career games or so averaged about 2 points, 1 rebound, 0.3 blocks in 3 minutes per game. And he actually played his, I think it was his freshman year with Mekhi Mason, who transferred to Washington after that year and then now transferred to Wake Forest. So those 2 guys are going to be very close to each other now. With Ufochukwu, it's interesting because, listen, his statistics, the amount of time he played at Rice, doesn't say he's not necessarily the Theo John type or Ryan Young type. I was kind of looking for the Blue Devils to get a guy who had played significant minutes for their respective teams in the past, who's looking to take on, maybe a smaller role for the Blue Devils, but have the chance to be a part of a winning program. And look, in high school, Ufochukwu averaged 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game. And I think he's kind of like in between the replacement in terms of those guys I was mentioning before as like a true backup, and more of like a Stanley Borden replacement, a big practice body, which is where I really think he's closer to that than the former. So I see Ufochukwu playing sparingly for the Blue Devils. He didn't play much for Rice. I don't think that's going to necessarily change, although you never know. It does remind me of when the Blue Devils got Sean Obi in the transfer portal from Rice. Obi had much better numbers at Rice before transferring to the Blue Devils. It didn't work out so hot for Obi with Duke. He then transferred to Maryland after a year. Obi, it's just fun comparison. Both guys, both bigs coming over from Rice. I think Ufochukwu, listen, if he's playing a lot, Duke's probably in trouble. But I do like the fact that he's 6'11", he can block shots, he can dunk. It is a good body to have in practice. I still think this is a good move, but I still think Duke probably needs another big after this move, because I'm just not sold that Ufochukwu could play 10 to 15 minutes a game for the Blue Devils if they need it, and there's a chance they could need it during the season. So I would love for them to add another big, but it's a good start. They're now up to, let me double check here, I think they're up to 11 guys. So yeah, 11 guys. They've got 2 more scholarship spots remaining, assuming Coward and Evans both end up not staying in the draft, which I don't think they will. So there's still 2 more spots for the Blue Devils to go add pieces here. Another big would be nice, and I think another forward would be good as well. You could make the argument another guard could be, an emergency guard could be important as well, with only having Foster and Boozer as true point guard, ball handling type players. But I think Hymenia has the ability to handle the ball, and I think Cameron Boozer can make plays. He's not going to bring up the ball, but I think he can make plays for his teammates. So I do think some of the playmaking is covered, but it would be nice to get another guy who can ball handle for the Blue Devils in the backcourt in an emergency type role. But this roster is pretty much set. I think there's 1 or 2 guys that they could bring in. One guy I think they could bring in who could be in the conversation for minutes, and another guy who's more going to be a practice player, emergency kind of guy. So we'll have to see. We'll be covering here at Talking Ball. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.